I'm in Lisbon. I've been exploring menswear here, going to different vintage shops. One of the main things that I have been diving deep is this concept that with style and clothing, you are the art. Clothing is the frame for you as the art. It makes it a lot easier to get dressed when you see clothing as something that actually accentuates what you already have going on for you. And the art in this case is really your face, specifically the contrast between your skin tone, your eye color, any facial hair that you might have, and your hair color. Those are the main elements that we're working with. Typically in menswear, you want the viewer's eye to actually move through the clothing to the face, because this is where you talk. This is how people identify who you are. This is the goods. We want people to see it. Typically in streetwear and other types of fashion, it's actually the other way around. People are looking at the clothes as the art. They're really designed to make sure that the viewer's view is moving throughout the outfits. I see people with these crazy outfits, etc. Classical menswear, though, is really built on foundational aesthetic principles. Vertical lines, proportions, 2/3 proportions. Going back to this concept that your face is the art and your clothes should really accentuate them. The number one way to accentuate the art and make sure that your frame is actually makes you look good is through the colors of what you're wearing and the textures of what you're wearing. Before we get into the fit and how the different pieces work together, we really want to make sure that your colors that you're in your clothes are accentuating your face. I'm going to show you how big of a difference it makes if these colors don't accentuate the contrast in your face. I'm going to try some clothes on and show you what happens. Right now I have a light blue shirt on. I'm a medium contrast face hair person. I've got light to dark brown hair, brown eyes, a little darker beard tone. I'm going to want clothes colors that also have medium contrast to them. If I wear colors that are too bright, it makes me look funny and it brings out different undertones in my skin. Some foundational background here. When you're considering your skin tone, you are either a warm, cool, or neutral skin tone. I have a slightly warm skin tone. The way you tell is by holding up a piece of white paper to your face and looking at the contrast. You can also look at your veins. Another way to think about this is, do you look good in gold jewelry? Do you look good in silver jewelry? Or are you kind of in between? Then you'd be neutral. I typically look better in gold jewelry. I can also wear silver, so I'm in like this in-between range. I have a warmish skin tone, and that it creates a medium contrast with, what I'm wearing up here. If I had really dark hair and really light skin, I would be extremely high contrast. If I had paler skin and I had blonde hair, that would give me a low contrast. So if I had pale skin, I was bald and I didn't have much facial hair, I would want to wear clothes that were lighter contrast. So I would want to wear pastels, lighter neutrals. If I'm higher contrast, I want my outfits to be higher contrast. I can wear black and white. I want there to be a lot of collision because that will accentuate what's happening here. I'm in the middle. I'm going to show you what happens when I put on different colors and different color combinations that really bring out more of my features. I'm going to start by showing you something that really works. I was just wearing a blue shirt. Now immediately notice the difference in how I look, my face, when I put on this charcoal blazer. Now there's contrast. This is pretty high contrast for me. Now my features really pop. You'll notice that when you see my face, it accentuates the contrast in my face. Now I'm going to show you something a little different. So this is actually a shirt that I love. I've worn this a lot. I love the color. I love the fabric. It's loose. It works great in more humid environments. I've worn this to work conferences. I've facilitated in it. It's a vibe. Once I started diving into this theory though, I noticed that this actually brings out this reddish undertone. You see how my skin suddenly starts looking a little blotchy. There's a way that this is too bright. If this were a softer yellow, it would work better, but you see how red my face starts looking? It does bring out some contrast for me. It actually blows me out. It's a little too bright for my contrast. You see how your eye is looking at the color. It doesn't actually bring out my features. Let's go to brown. This is another piece that I love. I've worn this a lot. This is actually a gift. I love the cut. It's got these shorter sleeves, interesting pockets. There's a little bit of a corduroy effect here. It's formal enough that I can wear it in formal environments. It's also almost streetwear enough. It's got a little bit of a rugged vibe. I love the versatility here. Again, I want you to look at my contrast. You see how it is bringing out a decent amount of contrast, and there's still this reddish undertone that's happening that gets popped out when I have this color on. It is accentuating what I have going on for me. There's this way that it brings out a red that I don't love. I think this would need to be a darker, more of a espresso or something darker for this to really work. Or if it were a much lighter color and I wore it with something else. I'm finally seeing actually two pieces that I love that I've been wearing a ton don't flatter me. They don't necessarily work for me. They don't necessarily work too much against me. At least this piece doesn't. I think the yellow, it objectively works against me. It just blows me out a little bit. This works, meh. It doesn't actually make me pop in the same way that the blue and the charcoal did. Let's keep going. This is really interesting. I normally would never buy something like this. I'm not a big plaid stripe type of guy. The reason I bought this was because of what it does for my contrast. This has got some of these like light blues. Blue works really well for me, my contrast. It's got like a light pink. It does bring out a little bit more of this pinkish hue in general. It really accentuates my face. You can see how different this was from the yellow or even the brown. So from a colors perspective, this is actually great for what I have going on. It really makes sure that this is what pops. My face stands out to you. It's not necessarily the colors or the pattern, but really brings my face out and brings your attention there, which is what we're going for with these outfits. Let's go to one more. Cream, this is the real moneymaker. You see how all of my features stand out. I don't have a ton of that red undertone. There's a tiny bit of it. This really brings your attention to my face. Might be a little bit too white almost. This works really well. Again, this works especially well if I have a darker color to ground this. You see how having this directly next to it lightens my complexion a little bit. The charcoal grounds it. Now my features are really happening. I don't have the same red undertones popping out in the same way. Here's another one of my favorite pieces. This is a purple that I wear all the time. I got this in Japan. It's super comfortable. It's a really interesting fit. Look at this thing, these cool pockets. I get compliments on this all the time because of the cut and the fit and how interesting it is. And this is decent. It does bring out my contrast. Again, you see how I'm getting this red undertone popping through in a bit of a weird way. And this lighter wan complexion is coming out here. Again, it doesn't really do much to bring my face forward in general. This isn't bad. This is similar to the light brown. This works. It's not working for me. It's kind of like working for me, working against me, whereas the yellow I think really works against me. Disregard this shirt. I wouldn't wear these two together. I really want to show you the blue and how this works. And this works really well. A blue, a little bit more higher contrast in what I'm wearing. The dark charcoal, the darker blue, not navy necessarily, but this denim looks pretty solid. Brings out a little bit of the redness in general. My features are happening with this color, and it works great. What's the point? I'm working with a client right now who has lighter skin, has blue eyes, almost has like a reddish tint in the beard. What we're doing with this person is looking at what colors can we include and accents we include that really bring out those features, because it's a lower contrast set of colors. The eyes are blue. So even including light blue tones or blue shirts really bring out the eyes. Including pink or reddish hues to really bring out the color in the beard, and everything else otherwise needs to be in more muted tones because the skin tone is a little more pale. So if you have lower contrast in your face, you want colors that are going to accentuate what's already happening here. I have the darker blues, the charcoals, they really bring out. If I had that little bit of a darker brown, it would really bring out what I currently have. You want to match your colors with what's happening here. The frame needs to be something that brings the viewer's attention to the art. Here's another one of my favorite pieces. This is a funky windbreaker. This is like a golf jacket. It's a golf jacket. Wear this all the time, super cool. This works pretty well for my complexion. I can do this brighter contrast piece, but I'm probably not going to wear it as much because I don't think it really makes me pop in a way. It brings out this red undertone in my skin. Also, wearing black t-shirts. I used to do that all the time. Black or white don't work great for me. That cream color I think works awesome. When you're thinking about this for yourself, you want to pick a primary tone that works as a base layer. For me, this cream I think works really well. The charcoal, I wear this suit now all the time because whatever I wear with the charcoal creates great contrast for my face. Really love this light blue, darker blues work great for me as well. These brighter tones, unfortunately, do not actually work for my contrast because it becomes more about the colors and less about me as art. Now, these are principles. These are not die-hard rules where if you break them, somehow some terrible thing is going to happen. They're really just a way to consider what to put on your body. And in fact, this has really helped me in getting dressed over the last couple of weeks because I'm not thinking about things of like, what's the vibe, what looks cool. I'm really looking at what I'm going to put on my body in relationship to how does it bring forth what's currently already here, which makes dressing a lot easier. I'm just working with what I got. It also allows me to be a little bit more creative because it's almost like I'm mixing some colors on the canvas versus I'm trying to build an outfit somehow. It's really like, how do I match with what's here versus I need to build something to communicate. That's a layer of getting dressed and styling that I'm exploring. I'm having a lot of fun with right now. I think once you see this for yourself, you really start to look at yourself, go back and look at your social media or look at pictures of yourself from the past. Notice where your clothing and the colors you're wearing help or work for the contrast in your face between your hair, eyes, facial hair, and then your skin undertone, or work against you. I think once you see that, you will not be able to unsee it because everywhere that I go and I put things on now, it's immediately obvious. And also in other people, if I'm in a restaurant and I see someone who's very high contrast, they have dark hair and lighter skin, they're wearing pastel colors, and it just washes out their face. It looks bizarre. It's a massive lever that you can learn to pull and play around with it. Have fun.